Hello, Disc Golf fans around the world, and welcome to the Disc Golf Network's production of the 2022 European Open. We have final round front nine coverage right on the way. Jeremy Colling, Nate Perkins, the McBattle continues.
Jeremy, this is going down in history as one of the more epic battles that we've ever witnessed.
Totally agree.
Paul and Eagle have left the field behind.
Yeah, bye-bye.
They're 32 under par heading into this final round, and
I believe they have 10th place right now by 21 strokes. I mean, it's just unprecedented what we're seeing here with these two players going for this title. McBeth has not lost since 2013. 5 consecutive wins here in Nokia, Finland. Can Eagle McMahon dethrone the beast? That's the storyline for today. Another storyline: impressive record-breaking crowds of over 5,500 spectators.
And we faced tough conditions during round 3 with the rain.
Mm-hmm.
And quite the opposite today. We have almost no wind, and we've got blue skies and sunshine.
It's beautiful.
With a score of 32 under par, representing Team Discmania and USA, Eagle McMahon!
McBeth going with the buzz that he parked hole 1 with rounds 1 and 2. Went with a different disc during the rain and did not birdie it, and right back to his birdie ways with a great tee shot.
And we really can't overstate how special it is. We have not seen Eagle compete since he walked off the course with an injury in April.
Yeah, at the Jonesboro Open.
And here he is leading a major after 3 rounds.
Yeah. He is inside the circle, and he has been incredibly great from inside the circle this weekend.
In third place with a score of 19 under par, representing Team Lone Star Disc and Discball from USA, Chandler Kramer!
From an all-backhand player to an all-forehand player, Chandler Kramer. Another storyline this week. 58th, I think, in the world rankings coming into this event. A player who doesn't even have a Pro Tour card yet. Yet he is at all the events, and he is, establishing himself as a player to be reckoned with. He's going with a Champion Valkyrie here, which is really a play that requires something like that. I mean, that thing was heading to circle 3 long. Hits a tree, and now he's got to look for the birdie.
Next to team, in fourth place with a score of 18 under par, the 3-time Pro Tour winner, representing Team Prodigy and USA, Kevin Jones!
And Kevin mentioned to me how proud he was to put together 3 solid rounds to make it on this lead card.
It's a big deal. Nothing like Sunday at Nokia at the Beast, lead card. Nothing like putting in the bullseye when you have that opportunity. A tap-in birdie coming up for Kevin Jones. That's a fun walk down this fairway when you know you've thrown it perfect, especially when you have that big jumbotron to your right and get to see it inside the bullseye. Another wonderfully placed putt from Eagle McMahon. 4 for 4 on hole 1.
Really?
Yeah, we got to see. We're going to be able to see every single throw this week from Paul McBeth and Eagle McMahon. And
Yep.
Chandler Kramer is actually the only player who's maintained their spot on this lead card throughout the event. A bit low there.
Yeah, back-to-back lead card appearances for Kramer. Huge for his career.
Mm-hmm. McBeth is in the basket for his birdie. When you talk about players fueling off of one another and their success as they see birdie and they just feel the energy, it's hard to relate to it because I don't feel like there's been a time in my career where another player made me play that much better, where at least to the level that McBeth and McMahon are right now, because they are truly feeding off one another's energy. They've been able to play every round together. They've seen every single shot from the other competitor, and it truly has driven them to record-breaking scores. Hole 2 is par 3, 381-foot turnover shot, or a forehand or a backhand hyzer coming up here from Eagle.
Yeah, Paul's been throwing this hole great, swinging this force on all hyzer.
And he's actually, I don't know if he's actually even been inside the circle once, but he's made the putt every round. And yeah, he's in the circle this time. That is so much power on hyzer. Oh, and Eagle finally short-arming it. This was coming up way short right. And I don't think that had any chances of going out of bounds, but it's not a bad break that it hit the tree and landed it in the middle of the fairway.
Perhaps he was timid after straightening it out during round 3 and ending up OB.
He did hit a spectator on its hyzer course trying to make its way back in bounds, but he wasn't looking at this many people out in the audience, that's for sure. This is something else.
Oh, and Kev's reverb getting a slow skip, a little low out of the hand, and there is a slight tailwind.
Yeah, it was moderate. Any win today is going to make a slight effect at most on the disc's flight. The wind really doesn't know how to affect a forehand thrown from Chandler Kramer. I mean, he has got so much power as you see him just skipping right past Kevin's. A little short for Chandler. I'm sure he'd like to have that closer considering this hole is essentially built for him. A good look with McBeth and his longtime caddy Jonas, who's caddied every one of McBeth's 5 victories.
Is that so?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Jonas was 12 years old the first time he caddied for McBeth.
Well, you know what I just heard is that McBeth is flying him to USDGC.
I love it. That's a great connection between those two. Kevin Jones for the long birdie. 55 feet. That's going to be a little low. Right on line. Oh, that's a great feeling. The first big putt you make in front of a gallery of this size. I mean, I guess we don't really even know what that feels like because we've never seen a gallery of this size. But with the European spectators just always showing up in full force, it is an amazing feeling getting that first putt in the basket.
And that's a good 20-footer for par right there, with Paul being parked.
And just like that, McBeth has taken the lead. Early psychological warfare perhaps for McMahon to have that lead for the first 2 rounds and just battle. Finally miss his first 2 putts inside the circle on 17-18 in the 3rd round. Or was that second round? I think it was 3rd round.
I think so.
Yeah. And now he's lost the lead to a player who doesn't like to relinquish the lead once he's taken it.
No, and Hole 3 is one of the defining holes on this front nine. It's a par 5, and we've seen a few eagles. Paul carding an eagle during round 1, and with the calm conditions today, I got to imagine that he's going full send. It's 380 feet to clear the first out of bounds, and he's going force again.
Yeah, no one in this group is going to be laying up today. I can tell you that right now. That's not a layup. That is blasted down the... That's right in the middle. It's right in the middle, mate.
Yeah, that's about a 450-foot tee shot. He's going to have right around 400 into the green. This is a big forehand. Chandler Kramer going boss. Does it have enough?
Oh, it just crawls around.
Green.
Wow.
Wow.
Gonna have to jump over the stake as he throws his next shot, but he's in bounds and he's loving that.
I love the way that eagle, like it looks like he has his talons just like resting on top of the disc before he does what he does.
Pat McMahon could not give his son a better name. I mean, he just successfully named his son Eagle. And
The bird.
The bird. Kevin, an incredible roller thrower. He's actually gone on record saying that he thinks he's the best roller thrower on tour, and I give him some credit to that. I think that he's able to claim that and believe it. I think that he's definitely got an incredible roller angle.
Love the confidence.
Yeah,
I've seen some incredible rollers. Portland Open, he did some magical stuff there.
Chandler getting away from the forehand roller that we saw him throw in round 3, and he just places a beaut right up the fairway. That sets up a really short approach. Should be a very easy birdie coming up for Chandler.
So I believe Kev rolled the D2 off the tee, and this is his reverb.
And he's pulled that one hard to the right. And it's... I guess it kicked down.
I think it dropped straight down.
Okay. It very easily could go out of bounds in many different directions. Eagle with an awkward run-up. He's going the straight gap. And a big skip. He's going to get near the fence. Roll. Wow. Right up there. A couple steps outside C1. That's a really good second shot.
Yeah. Great ground play right there.
And McBeth also going the tight line. Big skip off the top of the ground.
Just around the fence. And he is also outside circle 1.
That is such a scary fast putt coming up.
Ooh, we're going to be paddling all day.
Oh, this is a pleasure. This is so fun to watch. Kevin, does he have the right distance? I think he does. That's a great touch.
That's great. That's his distortion, too. It's a really slow speed disc that he just threw about 300 feet.
That's the distortion.
Yeah, that was probably the farthest he would attempt.
With the ceiling being
shot.
low, that's a slow disc to bring into that low ceiling. Oh, Chandler, this has gotten away from him. That's going to go out of bounds. That is a huge mistake for Chandler. That is an easy approach that he is wishing he had an opportunity to just have that back. Right on line. So hard to give that the proper height, knowing out of bounds is looming right behind the basket. But Eagle, with that miss, McBeth sees an opportunity.
Come on.
It's just so good.
We are 4 down through 3. That was straight at the out of bounds.
Didn't he do that in round 1, 4 down through 3? Didn't he do that in every round he's ever played?
He's probably the player who has achieved better than par during one round than any other player. Are you with me on that?
He has to be.
He probably is.
Yeah. With his aggressive mindset and his I'm going to win or I'm going to take I don't care the place. It gives him opportunity to really not have the reservations that a lot of other players are dealing with. And Chandler, that's a bogey that's going to sting. I mean, that is just, he played the first 2 shots exactly the way he wants to, and that approach is going to hurt. I mean, he is certainly battling this tournament for a potential for a podium at a major, a relative unheard of in the world stage. You just have to convert on those short putts and those easy approaches as we move on to hole 4. 610-foot sloping fairway, tight fairway. We saw a star frame on this hole yesterday with an impeccable and improbable approach from McBeth through the backside woods.
That was incredible.
And
we've seen roller
just
from
breaking.
Eagle and Paul that has just, you said it, just breaking the hole down.
Yeah.
And we had to kind of split the gallery up. As you said, we've got 5,500 in attendance. A couple thousand were able to cross the street with us and head into the woods.
Look at that late trust. Again, this is going to head down the fairway unless it hits a tree. Oh my gosh. It was actually fighting its way back to the fairway. That is such trust to put a slightly, I don't want to say stable roller down on the ground, but it is an understable disc, but just taking its time as it's working its way down the fairway.
A much different way to throw it than Eagle here. I mean, Eagle's ripping this Zen, and Paul was kind of real touchy with that heat. I mean, Eagle probably threw it 15 miles per hour faster than Paul's heat.
I don't know if Eagle has a slower speed than 15 miles an hour faster than everyone. Kevin trying to, getting lucky on the right side of the gap. That is not the intent. Not hitting anything, but
that's a great spot right there.
He's actually got an open look. It's going to be shorter than he'd like on his approach, but not hitting any trees, certainly, it's not bad. That is also down the right side.
Chandler getting the same little bit of love right there.
And how long does it take to sit? Not too long. That becomes an Anheuser forehand approach now. Kevin up on the hill. Incredibly low ceiling. He's going to have to get this thing down with Anheuser. Oh, and he's hit the path. This is going to be great.
Pretty ideal way to play it.
Yeah.
I believe that's A2.
Chandler going Heiser flip. And not quite getting the flip part, but
filters through for a putt.
Yeah, that's going to be a look
right there.
Mm-hmm. Once again, that shot is relatively stock for Chandler. He's not pumped with the way that came out of his hand, but he's just got to collect himself and make a putt. McBeth with a huge drive going. Is that a zone?
Yeah, I believe so.
And that's a bullseye. To those of you who aren't quite familiar with disc golf terminology, bullseye is not just a reference to darts. It's actually what we call within 3 meters of the basket. There's a little yellow line that denotes that you've done a good job. It's also there for statistical purposes as Eagle throws another beautiful backhand turnover from an awkward lie.
Yeah, and for a lot of players in the field, that's not so impressive, but for Eagle, who's not used to throwing those shots, it's really just showing us how intuitive Eagle really is with the disc.
Yeah,
I mean to throw those kind of touchy putter shots.
That's right.
It looks like he's been doing it his whole life.
I guess we're just going to see another star frame on hole 4. I mean, that's a rare score to see on most cards. Another beautiful putt from the woods from Chandler. It's some of these open putts that are just right there in front of you are a little bit awkward, but when he gets into the awkward positions and has to really focus on a certain line, I think it zeroes his focus. And we saw him make a really nice putt from the woods yesterday on hole 14, and he's done that once again on hole 4. Another star frame for our card.
Hole 5, par 3, headed slightly downhill, and you can see this fairway is significantly sloped from right to left. Really tough to get one to land soft here inside the circle. We see the understable backhand. We see flip up sidearms.
There's that little concrete pipe on the right side that has been added since the last time we were here. That had been a pretty serviceable access to this green on the right side, and now that is blocked with just a little bit more of an obstruction. McBeth pulling this down the right side. There are some lanes, but I don't think he's going to like that one. That's...
Oh, look at it climbing through. He's got a putt now.
He's got a putt, but that's going to be about 15, 16 meters away, and just nothing but just straight downhill from there with a slightly tight gap. I think Eagle sees this as a potential opportunity, now trailing by 2 shots.
Yeah, he's going Rainmaker again. We saw him park this during the previous round.
I like the height. I like the release. He's just got to miss that tree. Oh, wow.
That is nearly identical. He hit that Rainmaker on the right side. It skipped just over the cement, and
that is
incredible to match the shot so close.
That's great.
Kev going distortion.
It's got to get a little bit of a good break. Okay, yeah. I want to say good break, but you have to miss. There's a lot of things to miss up top, and if you hit any of those things, it immediately becomes a roller, and there's nothing to stop the roller from going to the bottom of the hill.
And this is the Dos Ex from Lone Star Disc.
Okay.
In the alpha plastic.
A good result for Chandler. And we're going to see McBeth step up to a challenging putt. I mean, he's an aggressive putter, but this even seems a little bit erratic to run this. Yeah, he doesn't want to take any opportunities there. He realizes McMahon's out of the basket, but he's got a 2-shot lead right now. And Kevin off the right side. Chandler Kramer right now is 2 under through 5 holes. He's missed an easy approach and 2 putts in the circle. I mean, he makes that putt
point.
on 1.
Yeah.
He gets up and down on 5. He's 5 under.
You're right.
And it's just, it looks like he hasn't been playing well. He is 2 under par right now. It's a good score. It's why he's on this card. He's just been scrapping together scores all week. And as we fly over hole 6, this par 3 up the hill, this tight fairway, I kind of want to touch on that part you mentioned about how Eagle had an awkward approach with his back turned to the basket, and how he is he's a natural with the disc. And I think a part of that comes from just playing from childhood. You get to really understand the way your body gets around a disc if you play from before adolescence.
I love those photos.
We don't think of Eagle in any other way than being just tall and skinny. It's just funny to see him just having a big baggy tie-dye shirt on and just loving disc, playing disc golf with his father all day.
Young Eagle is a timeless individual.
He is going to be way off to the right now. He's in danger of taking maybe his second bogey on this week on hole 6.
Yeah, that was a pretty big misfire with the MD1. Paul going Undertaker.
So close. He's been pushing the turnover too much.
Yep.
And this time he was a little bit too far left. I mean, just a mere angle every round away from perfection for McBeth. Good look at what Eagle has.
This is great camera work right here.
Yeah.
Come on, we got the basket in the foreground.
Wow, what a scramble. What a scramble.
He had a lot in his way, Jerm.
Did he go over that branch? Either way, he's parked. I mean, the path to get there was obstructed. McBeth, he's lining this up. So hard to get there. You really can't appreciate how high up the hill that is from that distance. And this is essentially full power just to get there. To try to make it with the elevated basket, that requires just top level spin.
Wow, we're going to see 4 pars here.
That's a bit surprising. This is one of those holes that just feels frustrating to miss because it's right there in front of you.
Yeah, line is pure. You got a little backstop behind the pin.
But in practice, it is so much more difficult than in preparation. You see this right there in front of you, and then when it gets down to the round, you realize that even though that gap is relatively large, it requires a very precise angle measurement, and a release has to be true. There's no way to really get to this pin if you don't pierce that middle gap, and no players on our card were able to pierce that middle gap, and they're going to all take pars.
And they've got another straight shot ahead of them. This is also slightly uphill.
Yeah.
And 100-meter shot puts you in the ideal landing zone right here at this mulch. And then you have some options down to this green. You can see it's sloped from left to right. What you got, Jerm?
I just completely forgot that we glossed over Leo Pirinen's ace on hole 5.
Thank you. You're right.
He had a skip ace with an FD2, I believe it was.
The Royal Rage.
Yeah, and a huge moment for him. An ace in a major is just, it's better than an ace anywhere else. Eagle. Early hyzer into the hillside, but it's still going to find the absolute sweet spot in the middle.
He's going to have that gentle turnover right where that drone just flew. And there's the man directing the traffic.
That's right.
And the man behind Disc Golf in Finland, Jussi Maresma, also the founder of Discmania Discs.
And course designer for this course and hundreds more. I mean,
yeah,
the man
hundreds.
responsible for the popularity of Finland disc golf. And
Jerm,
yeah,
how good is that?
I'd say,
how good is that forehand? How many people are even trying that one?
Not too many. Yeah, I'm going forehand.
No one else?
No, I bet you there's 10% of the field going forehand.
Come on.
Yeah.
That's a shot, though, from Chandler.
That really is.
He really drives those bosses on this little slight Anheuser angle. We're going to see it a lot throughout the rest of the round. Very impressive.
Who's throwing a forehand that far? Maybe no one else in this field. Silverlet, He's got the distance. Kevin Jones. That's
Beauty.
that's the more traditional way to get to the spot where him and Eagle are lying. McBeth running into some trouble here on 7. Early kick off the tee and early kick off the approach, and shouldn't be the hardest approach to the basket, but it's certainly not going to be the easiest either. Now look at Eagle rocking the signature Eagle shirt with a couple of the event sponsors on the sleeves. Oh, McMahon is going to be down the hill.
Just slightly overturned, but that's not the miss you want to see.
How far down the hill do you think that went? It's hard for it to not go all the way down.
It's pretty steep. I'd be surprised if he had a putt.
Alluding to those sponsors, we want to thank Akon and young Jeremy.
Akon and young Jeremy.
No, Akon and Vivo Barefoot, as well as the city of Nokia.
Yeah, Vivo Barefoot.
Ford, yeah.
I've never seen so many people in
presence.
barefoot shoes. I mean, it's amazing what they're doing at this event, and I feel like it's the best shoe for disc golf.
Yeah. Well, we'll see over the test of time. McBeth able to jump putt his approach, so he really wasn't in a terrible position. Kevin with a great approach, and Chandler kind of getting away from an approach that he was not pleased with. Now Eagle from deep circle 1, or deep circle 2, I should say. And that is an opportunity lost with a great drive,
Yep.
a relatively simple approach that he overturns, and he pays the price by not getting the birdie. An opportunity to tie things up here on the 7th after losing 2 strokes to a player who usually locks down leads.
Yeah, I mean, he goes 5 down through the first 4, and then now he's looking at his 3rd par in a row.
Yep.
So Eagle going to be thinking about that.
Chandler Kramer's 3 down.
You know, I'm trying to recall who he putts like with that overstable kind of slow spin that he has. Who do you have in mind?
Give me a minute.
Yeah.
Reminds me a lot of Chandler Kramer right now.
Well, he's putting with like a pig style disc. I actually don't know what the disc is, but
Matt Dollar kind of putted. Yeah.
Matt Dollar.
Yeah, in a way.
No, definitely
That's a
Matt
pretty good-
Dollar.
yeah.
Great
Shout out
job.
to you, Matt Dollar.
That's why you're here on the mic, Jeremy, because
Late.
you're a historian of disc golf.
I have a lot of information in this noggin. The information I have for you now is this is a par 3, 236 feet, and it must get birdied. This is a hole that we've seen Chandler. I mean, again, he's sticking to the game plan. All forehand, every shot. This is not a forehand hole. He's going to need to throw a good turnover approach and have it land softly if he wants to have a look at this must get birdie. 2.32 average. It goes down even easier once we have the 4th final round cut. Kevin Jones will be collecting the birdie, and that's going to bring him to 5 down with 1 hole to play on the front. And that's really about as good as you're going to get with the forehand here. If you get any higher, you're going to get into a more severe slope, which most likely will roll down the hill. So playing to the edge of the circle is a good strategy, good execution for Chandler.
Razor Claw 1 for Eagle.
Just narrowly avoiding that last tree in the way, setting up an Eagle birdie putt.
Por ahí estamos.
Another event
Which one are
sponsor.
you drinking right now, Jerm? The energy?
I got the natural energy. They're all natural energy, but this one's just the original flavor. I've been
Sipping
drinking on
the
the
kombucha myself right now. The Appleseed.
Yeah, it's been really nice actually having a drink sponsor here at this event this weekend because you just got to drink, Nate.
Yeah, you finish your round and then you crack open 2 coconut waters. You drink them quick. You take 2 energy drinks with you.
Oh, yeah, for the next
and
day.
And they look at you weird when you grab your 4th kombucha.
You're doing the same thing I'm doing, I see. Okay, great. I'm not the only one. Eagle in. Chandler out. And that's this is a hole that in the future, you know, if he wants to establish himself as a presence on the tour, he's got to work in this shape and these short shots. He's just got to, you can't be dropping 4 strokes a tournament on a hole that must be birdied. With the 2 players at the top doing what they need to do, 38 and 37 respectively.
And taking a look at
Paul
this
and Eagle.
walk, I love the walk. I kind of wish we could walk with them throughout so that the viewers at home could kind of get a feel. We crossed back over the street. We're headed back into the city of Nokia Park. Last hole in the front 9, par 3, 103 meters. This one's slightly downhill. Forehand hyzer is a very common play. Ground is a little faster this year. We've seen some skips. Barsby skipping out right, OB.
Yep.
We've seen McBeth nearly acing this hole a few times, and we've seen Eagle take this really tricky backhand hyzer.
McBeth has aced this hole.
Backhand force. He has. Wow.
And this hole, and I was trying to think of why it was so much easier this year than it has been in the past, is the foliage down the middle. It was just kind of a forest. And now it's really wide open. They've really opened up that inside turnover for the backhand in a way that was just never really open before. We saw players going backhand roller before they would try the inside backhand turnover line. So if you watch prior years' coverage, you'll be able to see how this hole is opened up.
And I misspoke. Eagle's going force over with this Razor Claw 1.
Yeah. This one's really low, but it's got the Eagle juice behind it.
Yeah, it got there quick.
Okay,
I
never
was
mind.
with you, though. It was low.
And he has
He's at
executed
20
that shot
feet.
so well this week. That is just not an easy line to hit, regardless of the foliage being opened up a bit. McBeth wide. This is going to need to put the brakes on. Oh my gosh! And there are the brakes.
Another near ace. Throwing that force really well. Star max for Chandler.
I like the width. I like the pace. I like the result.
We didn't see one go in the foot golf hole.
No, just all I heard this week was Calvin Heimberg in the President's Cup. Yep. Kevin with a lot of movement behind the pin. A lot of this gallery realizing there's no way to get a good view on this card. I'm going to go watch the chase card a bit. All finish chase card, that is. So obviously they're going to have a big gallery for themselves as well. But I mean, just 10 to 15 deep in every single spot around the fairways. True spectacle. It wasn't a perfect front 9, but 6 under is the score for Eagle, as he's going to head to the back 9, trailing the Beast at the Beast by a single stroke once Paul makes this putt.
Yeah, that's a 7 under par on the front with 3 pars.
Look at the separation.
So the
From third
McBattle
place.
is continuing.
Yeah,
Kevin Jones shooting a 5 under.
Yeah.
He's passed up Chandler Kramer. He's now sitting in
They're gonna be
third
tied.
place.
They will be tied now.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you. Yeah.
Third place is 16 back. I cannot recall an event where two players. I mean, actually, it happened recently with Idlewild. Chris Dickerson and Isaac Robinson left the field, but that kind of happened over the course of the event. I mean, this was almost like round one. Hey, we're here and bye-bye.
See ya.
If you guys can't shoot 13s and 14s to catch us, you're not going to be in this event. And obviously, no one has been able to surpass the 12 under mark.
We're witnessing history, Jerm.
Yeah, this is pretty cool.
It's an honor to commentate with you. Guys, thanks so much for tuning in. We've got 9 holes left of the McBattle.
Let's get right into it.